Alrighty, so in this video, I'm going to go over what I do with recipe photography and videography. It's going to be mostly a slideshow, but you can always go back to Dinner Tonight resources and look up the different content. So when it comes to lighting, so when I first started off with Dinner Tonight, I was very concerned that my kitchen wasn't worthy because, as you saw in the, what's it called? Behind the scenes or what I do to set up for Facebook Lives, my kitchen is not fancy. It's a tiny apartment, but so I was all panicky and I was calling my aunt, who does not live near me, by the way. My family's 4 hours away, but I was going to visit them and I was like, hey, can I use your kitchen to do photography? And they're like, yeah, but even though she has a beautiful kitchen, her lighting is not there. I really recommend if you go back to my video, and actually I'll have a little clip at the end, I will show you that natural lighting truly is the best when it comes to photography. So even when I did this recipe, the photos came out a little dark, which they weren't bad, but they come out dark. They're not super bright, they're not super vibrant. You really ideally want to have that natural lighting. So even if it's not in your kitchen, it's in another room, that's fine. Just make sure you have natural lighting to get those nice, beautiful pictures. And sometimes you can't always depend on natural light, right? Because the weather, you never know how the weather is. So I'll never forget, I was like, I'm going to do it on this day. I have the time. And then guess what? My natural lighting wasn't there because it was a cloudy day. It happens. So when those days happen, I still have my windows open with the layout of my apartment, but I had to get those lights out. And again, these are my personal lights. They work the same as, let me go back, as these lightings. These are the ones we got from Dinner Tonight, and they work just as good. Actually, I use this lighting when I'm recording for my agent videos. And then these are just the ones at my house. So depending where you have your equipment, do you have them at your office? Do you have them at home? You just use what you have. I don't like to take things back and forth. I try to keep things all together, and these are the ones I have at my house. So I have the ring lights, and you might want to invest in them. You can. This little one, I got it really cheap at Target. I think it was $8. This one I got on Amazon. It's more expensive, but I felt like it was an investment because I'm always doing videos. But again, that's up to you. And if that's something you really want to look into and you don't want to pay for it, maybe talk to Odessa about it. When it comes to video recording, I'll admit, when it comes to the video recording, the step-by-step videos, lack of better words, I don't do those very often. I rather do a Facebook Live. That's my own preference, but everyone's to each their own. If you do a video recording, you do want to pick an area. Same thing, just like your layout, you want to have an area to do your videos. And if you look back, here I'm doing photos on my kitchen table. Here was the kitchen. But here, I actually bought this at, I want to say TJ or Ross or something. It was really cheap, and it was something portable. And you're going to laugh, but quick snippet, but when you go shopping, you're going to start seeing things like, oh, this would be perfect for Dinner Tonight. And what makes me laugh about my family is my family's already trying to oh, you can use this when you do your photos and you do your videos. I'm they know. So you'll start having an eye for it, and then if you're good, you'll start training your family too. But yeah, I have this portable little stand right here to do my photos. I like the wood texture of it, and I had it off to the side in the middle because in my kitchen you can't really see it, but over here I have 2 windows, and then I have a big window over here on this side for my in my living room. So I have a tiny apartment, but so I'm using all that light plus these lights to get the lighting for my food. Same thing for video. You want to make sure you have lighting. So here you can tell I had more lighting during the clouding compared to when I took the photos. So again, that's the only downside about natural lighting is you have to depend on the weather. But when it comes to video setup, you are going to get one of these attachments from Odessa, and I use the iPad. So you're going to record videos with your iPad and take photos with a nice DSLR camera. You could take videos with a camera. The only downside with the camera we get, it doesn't have a flip screen, so you can't see what you're recording. So, but if you have assistance, if you have a little person helping you record, then use your DSLR camera. That's always going to have a better pixel image. But your iPad is really going to be great as well. So this is what I did for the video. I did all my videos step by step when I did the recording. And the only thing, my little tidbit, is in my head, using a table was great. Using a chair was great. But like when I was doing all the food to record, I kept hitting the chair. So this kept getting wobbly. So if you do use a chair, don't hit it, or like find something more stable. Ideally, you don't want this shaking. That's my only tidbit for video recording. But you do want to have a spacious area to record and take photos. All right, so I have my little setup. You can do it anywhere you like. I have a portable stand. I just bought it, like I told you. And then I have all my windows open because natural lighting is the best. Of course, if it's a cloudy day, you want to add some lighting. So I have a lighting there just in case. And you can set it up anywhere. I recommend somewhere that you like. And then I have another table just to like prep and go through all the steps and organize my thoughts, as well as prep myself for when I'm doing the steps. So like you do want to get your hand out, print out the recipe, and make sure you're doing the steps exactly as described when you're recording, so you can take them. And same thing for the steps when you're taking photography. Like you want to make sure you capture the moment of the step. So when we're posting them on the website, it is there. But again, ignore my mess, but have natural lighting. If you need light, get it too as well. And like you see in the background, I have an extra little prop for the layout of the photo, so you can swap it if you need be. So also when you're taking photos, like you need to take several photos, right? It doesn't matter. Play around with angles. I like to say, like, you just don't know. You can be up close. You can be from this side. It may look similar, but just play around with angles. And like, the more footage you take, the better. And what I really like to take is like the bird's eye view, because when you take further away photos, you can then crop them when using Canva, and I will show you what I mean. When it comes to your recipe photos for camera and Facebook, like I've noticed, at least in my personal belief, and I'll show you what I mean, is that when you take a photo from afar, then you can zoom in on the Instagram photo rather than having a close-up, because then when you're cropping your image, and you have to so it can fit the square, that sometimes it cuts off your food, and I'll show you a video on that. But you're also going to want to play around with plating and layout. Like, you have no idea. I will say sometimes I'm like really good at plating, and sometimes I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Like for my other ones, I've done mostly salads, I guess you can say, and like I think I'm a pro at salads. But when it came to cookies, I was like, what the heck do I do? And you might have some of those, stuck moments, and it's okay. Like here I played with this and it looks cute, but I also thought, like, how many cookies do I plate? And there it looks too empty. But here I was like, okay, that looks okay. Just play around with it. You never know what's gonna pop out and look good to you. I do like this, but like I didn't like how this plate was too big, and then I didn't know how many cookies to put. Like, it's a thing. You just gotta play around with both plating and serving portions. When I was researching cookies online, and that's the best way to look out researching plating ideas, is just go online and see. And I noticed a lot of people do the trays when they're taking photos there. I also want to say, like, you can play around with the backgrounds. So Jess is going to give you a set of different backgrounds that you can play with. And I usually love this brown and cork and gold one. But when I was taking these photos, I just wasn't feeling it. It wasn't. And then I thought, maybe I'll add milk. And you can do that. You can add other ingredients and other items into the mix. I usually add a utensil, like a fork. Again, I feel like I'm a pro with salads. I always have a fork. But, play around. You can add a cup of milk. You can add a spoon, a fork, whatever it's needed for your plate. You're also going to want to play around with the different plates. Like, here's this white plate, smaller plate. I forgot what that's called. You're going to have, I got this, I think Odessa gave me this. It's one of those black little chalk plates. I tend to use this one a lot. I saw this one. Ideally, you want to use like a nicer pan. This is the pan I had. So I wouldn't use this for a final product, but it was an idea. Again, just play around with it. It doesn't hurt to play with different plating and serving portions. Also play around with additional ingredients. Like I said, you can play with milk, or like here I threw in some almonds because it's an almond butter cookie. I thought it was cute. And like here I have the almonds, here I don't. So like play with it both, and at the end of the day, when you're deciding on your final photos, you can play around what looks good for you. But just have fun, guys. Don't stress about it. You honestly just want to have fun with all your photos. So when it comes to, I'm going to exit out your photos, and when you're picking selections for your recipes, you're going to want to take photos, different angles, and submit. So when I do my recipes for Odessa photo covers, I like to give her 3 or 4 options. And of course, she might change it all together. And we'll go over that in a second. But let's see, is it 10? Here. So here I give her 5 options. I usually go 3 or 4, but I really didn't know what to do. Again, cookies are not my strong suit. But here on this one, here's the first option. You want to make sure the name is clear anytime you're doing a photo. You want to also add the logo. And I think this one's pretty good. This might be a winner. If not, here's the second photo with an idea option. It's a different angle. Not much of it, like it's nothing crazy, but there's another option for her. This is my third option. It's a little further out when it comes to this. Here's the tray I was talking about. I'm not in love with this one. And what I usually find out is like, during the photos, when I'm taking photos, I'm like, I'm so great. And then I'll see the photo at the end, like up here, and I'm like, this stupid cookie had to crack. Like, of course it would crack. But out of your control unless you want to redo it. And then here's the last option. And again, the tray ones are not my favorite, but it's another idea just for her to play around with. And I think because I'm nitpicky, all I see are the cracks. But, at the end of the day, I got it done. So I'm going to show you really quick about photos. So this is I think I used this one, a far away photo. And sometimes when you take photos, you're going to see edges of like outside your background, and that's okay, it happens. But you see how this doesn't exactly fit inside your photo Canva that posts, like this is for Instagram. You're going to have to expand it. And when you expand it, it starts cropping. And you see now, like you have to like either center it so it can now fit in, but you see how it's cropping it? Like this personally isn't my favorite. So I'm not going to use that one in this one. But if I use one for further away, like this is the bird's eye, you have a lot of space where you can crop out and use. And see how this fits it better? This is the bird's eye view I was talking about. When you take a photo further out, it's okay because when you're cropping it for your photo, it all fits and you're not having like a mini panic attack. Again, when you're uploading all your photos, you're going to want to put them on Dinner Tonight on your resources team folder, and I'll show you that in a second. So when you're adding logos, you can copy or paste, but over here on the left, we have logos. When Odessa gives you access, you'll have access to all the logos, and you can just drag them in there. But since I already had it, I'm just copying and pasting things. Yeah, I don't know. This is probably why I didn't like it, because I didn't know where to put the font. But again, this is talking about recipes and talking about the photos. Like, it's okay if they're further out, like this one, because when you crop it for it to fit in the square, it fits. Like, it's further. I don't know. That's my tip. Like, take a photo further away, because when you're cropping, it's not a big deal. Versus when you're doing a zoom. Let me get a zoom in photo. That's pretty zoom in. When I'm cropping, you're cropping a lot out, and this actually looks okay. But sometimes it's like, oh, how do I angle this? How do I move it? You just want to make sure it fits in your square area. And sometimes this may work for Instagram, but it may not work for the other platforms. So when I did the Pinterest one, this is my first choice. And of course, I always like to give her options. But here I only gave her 3 options for Pinterest compared to the Instagram one where I'm giving her like 5. And actually, I might just delete because I don't think she needs all of these. But this is my first choice, and I'll order these for her. But when she downloads, she can pick. And then to get your Pinterest size, all you do is click the resize, hit Pinterest, and then it'll resize it for you. And that's how I got the Pinterest one. But of course, you have to tweak it a bit. It's not going to be perfect. But yeah, when you're doing your recipe, do not forget about Pinterest. Just a quick snippet. But really quick, don't forget about our Dinner Tonight resources page. And when you're going over your content process checklist, when you're doing your recipe photos, this is the step 4. This is your videos and photos, right? And lighting and staging. So we're covering this part of our content process. When it comes to ingredients and test recipe, again, I like to do this during step 2, but if this is step 4 and you're following it concrete, by all means, this is where you have to go get those ingredients, bake it, and test it so you can take those photos and practice with lighting and staging. I guess these two go hand in hand for me. I like to do 2 and 4 together. Sometimes it's better to do it in this process, but today we're going over, for sure, the video, photos, and lighting, and then you can also play around with ingredients. So what I like to do with those ingredient photos is use them on Instagram stories, and I'll do another video just talking about stories. So Instagram stories is something new for dinner tonight, and you can definitely have fun with it. So I'll get my cell phone and take a photo of just the ingredients. I think it looks cute, and you can put it in the Instagram story. We don't really use these kind of shots for recipes on the website or for posts itself, but for stories you can. So have fun with it if you want to take these photos. But that's it for photography. For more information, again, just send me an email, call me on Teams or on my cell phone, and I'll talk and help you through anything. Bye, guys.